Hi, this is Chef Paul, and today we're going to make flour tortillas. We already did naan bread and we did pita bread, and this is basically a flatbread as well. So it's a little different. The leavening in it is not yeast, so we're not going through the whole proofing process. We're just going to be using baking powder. So we're going to use a chemical leavener, but it's the same thing. You see a lot of similarities to the pita bread and the naan, different leaveners, but it's just a form of a flatbread. So I'm going to go through the mise en place right now. In this bowl right now, I have flour, all-purpose flour. I think it's 1 3/4 cup flour. I got a half a teaspoon of baking powder, and I got a teaspoon of salt. And I'm gonna mix it up, and then we're gonna add fat. So we're gonna do this similar to how we did pie dough and we did scones and different things. I'm gonna be adding fat to it. We're using vegetable shortening, which is Crisco. You could use lard, you could use butter, you can use combinations, you could use just oil, but you gotta put a fat in there. So once you get this all mixed like that, so basically you're just gonna mix it up a little bit, right? We got the salt, the baking powder, mix it up there. Now we gotta add our fat. So we're gonna take this out, and you are gonna be using your hands just like we always do, but right now, just to get it out, get all the fat out. And like I said, this could be butter. If you didn't have it, it could be margarine, and you can just use oil. You just need to have some form of a fat in there. A lot of the times they use lard, same thing. So you can use, or combinations. You could use this and a little bit of butter. You can use bacon fat, you can use all kinds of things. All right, so get that out there. Now what you're gonna do is I normally just coat it up a little bit because it's sticky. And then if you have one, you don't have to, you're gonna break this up into pieces. Just like we did before when we did the pie dough and when we did the scones. Just gonna kind of break it up. It breaks pretty easy. And once we get it all broken up into pieces, I'm gonna add that hot water and we're gonna mix it. You're gonna see very similar to all the other doughs we did. And once I get it all like that, it looks pretty good. You can get those little pieces, and use your hands. There we go. So once we get that, get them all kind of broken up. And you're just gonna take it like this. You make a little well, it doesn't really matter though. Take this here, and then you're gonna use hot water for this. So we're gonna take the hot water, I'm gonna pour it in. I'm gonna slowly pour this in just like we did all the other ones. And you're gonna kind of mix it. And you're gonna mix it until it kind of forms. It'll kind of form when you can't stir it anymore, and then just like all the other doughs we've done, when you do it by hand, now I'm gonna have to use my hands to knead this. So once you get to that point, just take it all out. Now you're gonna use your hands. You're gonna get dirty. That's the way it works. At that point, we're gonna take this and we're gonna start kneading. Just gonna get it to have it come together. Just like all our other doughs. This is so similar to all the other flatbreads, the naan, the pita, even the pot sticker dough, same idea. Just kind of move it back and forth. And all I'm gonna do is I'm just trying to get all the flour out of the bowl. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end up putting it on the table, and I'm gonna do the kneading just like we did all the other doughs. So once I get this here, just keep going. You can see it's getting there, getting it all out. Clean this bowl out, get all that stuff off the sides. Just kind of move it back and forth, back and forth. All right, looks pretty good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on the board here, on the table, and I'm gonna start kneading it. So I'll take it here. So I'm gonna knead this for about 5 minutes, and then we'll check back. All right, you can see it's been 5 minutes, and it's nice and smooth like that. And it should be just like this. You don't want it to be dry. You want the dough to be just like that. It's really pliable, and it doesn't quite stick to your hands, but that's perfect. So now I'll show you how you divide it. All right, so once you get it all done up, this is gonna do between 7 and 8, but I'm gonna show you, I have a scale, and how we do this in a restaurant, like with pizza dough and all kinds of things, we actually weigh it. So what you do is you put it on the scale, you see what it weighs, and for this one here, it's looking like they're gonna be about, I'm gonna do 7, this is gonna do 7 portions at 2 ounces, and that'll be real close to it. So what I'll do is I cut them on here, I put them on here around 2 ounces, and I'll ball them, and then I'll show you how they come out. All right, so I used the scale and I kind of portioned them out, put them on there. They were roughly 2 ounces. You can eyeball it, but since I have a scale and I wanted to show you, that's how you would do it in a restaurant. If you look at how do they do a medium pizza, a large pizza, we weigh the dough. That's how we know exactly what you're gonna get. So these have been weighed out, so they're roughly 2 ounces. I'm gonna go ahead and show you now, just like we've done all the other ones, you ball them. You can see with all doughs, it's all pretty much the same thing. You do that balling, like when we do pizza, we did the naan bread, you take them, and you just kind of make little circles. See how I do that? There's different ways to do this. This is how I do it. I do it the way you do pizza. I've done a lot of pizzas. So this is what you do. You kind of move it back and forth just like you would do it. Make these little round balls. So I'll finish these and I'll show you what we do next. Okay, so you can see I got them all balled. You know, they're roundish here. So you got little balls here. Now you take them just like we've done all the other doughs. You know, even though this doesn't have yeast in it or any, you still need to let it rest. Just like when we were doing the pot sticker dough, it didn't have anything in it either. You need to let it rest so we'll be able to roll it out. So what you do is you get them all there, and then I'm just gonna set there and I'm going to rub them plastic wrap so you don't get a skin. So we're gonna come back in about 15-20 minutes. I'm gonna show you how to roll them out. Okay, you can see our tortillas, you know, we have the flour tortilla dough. It's very similar to how when we did the naan bread, right? We got our little 8 there, we're gonna take it out. Again, it's a flatbread. This is no different than any of the other one. It's just this doesn't have any yeast in it. The leavener is that chemical leavener. We're using baking powder. So I'm gonna flour them lightly. They're nice and soft right now, so they should roll out really easy. Look at that. Oh, they're really easy to roll out. Now we're just gonna take them here. And you're gonna kind of roll them out and make them round. As round, you know, whatever you can do. They don't have to be perfect. If they start sticking like that, you see that stick, then we gotta put some flour down. That's the key. And first one down here, there we go. Take it out, you turn it. Just gonna kind of roll it. See that? Oh, it's stopped. Now it's sticking. All right, needs more flour than that. Get it over here. These are so soft. That's what you want. You want them soft like this. This is what makes it really good. You can make sure we get that flour on the cutting board. On the rolling pin, I mean, there we go. Now we're talking. When it sticks, in other words, when I say when it sticks, it doesn't move. When it doesn't move, that means you need flour, right? So you're just gonna take them and just kind of keep turning them. Keep turning them. A little flour on here. We're just about there. That's good. Looks pretty good. So now we're going to take them and we're going to bring it over to our cast iron pan. I go ahead and we're just going to kind of lay it in here. And we're going to wait, make sure it's hot enough. You should start to get bubbles. Very simple, just like we were doing with the pita bread, the naan bread. You're looking for those bubbles because it needs to be hot enough where you're creating that. There you go. Just like we were doing the pita and the naan, right? Same thing. Oh, getting there, it's hot. So turn this down, looks like we're there. Okay, flip it. There we go. And it's always the first one's the hardest. You're adjusting the heat, you're getting everything down. Look at the air, very, very, very similar to how we did the pita bread and the naan. You're getting that air, perfect. All right, we're gonna roll out some more and we'll continue to cook. All right, so I just rolled out another one. You kind of make it roundish. You know, you want to make sure they're, again, this looks very similar to that pita bread we made. So now you get it, we flour it. We're gonna put it back on our pan, bring it over to our little pan here, and we're just gonna lay it down. Okay, let it set. We're gonna watch it. We're looking to see if we get any bubbles. Really want to have that excess flour. We're starting to get some bubbles here. That's what you're looking for. Getting there. Perfect. That's what you want to see. It's starting to rise like that. There we go. Take it here and turn it. Put it back. There we go. Right there. All right, so I'm going to continue to cook them. All right, so we got another one going. You're getting that air. That's what you're looking for. You get that nice air in them. As you do them, they start to, you get your pan set, and you just keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you get it down. So I'll keep cooking these, and I'll show them at the end. Okay, so you just kind of, when you're cooking the quesadillas, you want to put a towel or something to keep them warm, or to keep them soft, you know. So you just take them out. And then you look at them, and there you go. You got your nice, soft, you know, nice quesadilla or tortilla. That's perfect. You take these, and like I said, you can make quesadillas with them. You can, you know, tacos, whatever you want. Keep them warm. After this, I'll put them in a Ziploc to keep them fresh. And that's it. All right, so after you get your tortillas done, you can eat tortillas. Everyone knows you can do tacos, eat them with anything. It's a flatbread, right? So you also can do something called a quesadilla. Everybody knows what a quesadilla is. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna make a basic cheese one, you know, like it's like a grilled cheese. We're gonna do a Mexican style grilled cheese with the quesadilla, but I'm also gonna do one with the smoked pork loin. So I have a nice little smoked pork loin. I'm gonna saute off some onions, garlic, peppers, salt and pepper, real basic, but we're gonna spice up that quesadilla. So let's go ahead, first we're gonna go ahead and saute our onions. So I'm gonna put a little bit of oil in here. Gonna get that oil going, right? I'm gonna take our onions, nice and hot. They're going back and forth, get it nice and hot. You want that oil nice and hot like that, perfect. Get that in there. Saute those. Put some bell peppers in here. To make this really, really simple. Really, really simple. Add in like that. Season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. A little bit of pepper. All right, I'm gonna come back in a minute and check on it. All right, I'm just letting them set. I haven't really been moving it. I'm trying to caramelize the onions. You can see it's starting to get caramelized there. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of garlic. Add a little bit of garlic into here. And I'm just gonna let it go. So we're gonna check it in about a minute and we'll see how brown we're getting. All right, it's been a minute. So now I'm just checking on them. Now I'm moving them. See, I didn't move them until now. So I let them sit because you're trying to create, see the browned onions? That's caramelizing. That's that sugar. If you put them in there and you just constantly move them, you're not gonna get that. So it's not about that. You wanna let them set. I'm just about there. I'm gonna let them cook a little bit longer now. We're gonna come back in about a minute and we should be ready. All right, it's been a minute. Now we're moving them again. See, I'm moving them again. Look at that nice color. That's exactly what you're looking for. This is like a fajita style mix with just garlic, onions, pepper, salt and pepper. That's it. So I'm gonna turn this off and we're gonna put it in our quesadilla. All right, so we got our tortillas here. So, you know, this is the size I can make with my pan. The bigger your pan, the larger you can make them. Now we're gonna turn them into quesadillas. They're cold now. So what I'm gonna do is a quesadilla, right? Quesadilla is basically, it's a Mexican style grilled cheese, right? So I'm gonna take whatever cheese. I have mozzarella because that's what I have in the refrigerator. I got some cheddar. You can get as creative with cheese as you want. There's so many different types of cheeses. Goat cheese in it. You can put Gouda. Whatever you like, you can put in it. I'm going to make a real basic one here. I'll put a little cilantro. And I just got cheese. And I'll take a little bit of this pepper mixture. This is like that fajita. Peppers, onions, and garlic that were caramelized, right? And just kind of turn this. All right, so we got that basic cheese one. See, anything can go in here. This could be shrimp, it can be anything. This is basic fajita mixture of peppers, caramelized onions, garlic, some cilantro, and cheese mix. So I'm gonna turn that into a quesadilla, right? So the other one we're gonna do the same idea here. I'm gonna take some more cheese, right? Take some cheese. Remember, you can do anything. We've done smoked duck quesadillas. You can put anything in a quesadilla. I have some pork. This is a smoked pork loin. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this, a little smoked pork in there. You can put chicken, whatever you got, right? Put some of that in there. I'll take some more of this fajita mixture, put that in here, kind of get it in there, get that nice onions that have been caramelized in there. I'm gonna throw a little bit of this cilantro again. Why not? Oh, I love cilantro. There we go, perfect. And then you just kind of have to turn this like that, do the same thing. So we got these fresh tortillas, one with meat. Next thing I'm gonna do is, you don't have to, but I'm gonna brush, it helps brown them and get a crust, so I'm gonna go ahead and just brush a little bit of butter on here. And then we're gonna put them in our pan. We have a non-stick one, which works really easy. And we're gonna go ahead and brown these, all right? So get it a little like that, okay? I'm gonna bring the bigger one first. Bring it over to our pan. Bring that down, perfect. I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Put it here like that, look at that. Perfect. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let them set. I'm gonna check them in a minute and see how they look. All right, so I'm gonna brush the other side now with a little bit of butter. It's easier once they're in the pan here, just a little bit of butter. You don't have to, it just helps, crunch up the tortilla. There we go, a little bit adds flavor too. All right, so we'll let them go for about a minute, then I'm gonna flip them. All right, it's been maybe a minute and a half or so. Now I flipped them. So you can see you get that with putting the butter down, it just gives you a little bit of a crunch. You don't have to do it, but brushing a little bit of butter gives you flavor and gives you a little better crunch. So I got this on medium right now. We're gonna come back, we'll check it in a minute. We should have quesadillas. All right, you can see we got quesadillas. We got a basic cheese, got some, the fajita mixture inside, and we got a smoked pork one here. And then you can take them and you can cut them, right? You gotta cut them one way, cut them the other way. Look at that, they look good. Cut them that way. All right, I'll put them on a plate and we'll show you how you can present them. All right, so you see what you can do with a tortilla, flour tortilla. We have quesadillas here. So basically, you cut it up. This would also go great with that roasted tomato salsa that we have up on DV Culinary. The avocado, the guacamole would go great with this. You can make a lime sour cream, whatever you want to, any type of a dipping sauce. But you can get as creative as you want with a quesadilla. You can put any cheese, any meat. It's great with tri-tips, shrimp, catfish, you name it, you can put it in here. So that's our assignment for this week.